Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers on Dung and Great Millstone that teaches word and fear, truth, and sincerity. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Rai Miami. I'm here to share the lesson published by The Independent by Greg Graziosi a day ago. The title says, U.S. citizen blinds ICE, that is Immigration Customs Enforcement, after being detained as he drove to work. They are the criminals. Now we're gonna read this article and see how they treating the people. You understand, to give a gauge of how things is gonna be through prophecy, man. Because things are gonna get worse the same way they are prosecuting the northern tribes right now. They're gonna do the same thing to the southern tribes, and ultimately the men of the Lord that teach on the highways and the byways, and the brothers that teach the likewise doctrine. Right? They're gonna also come after these channels and stuff as well. The true believers, they are gonna come after us in like manner. So this is why, you ready yourself for the times to come, man. Be circumspect. All right, know what it is you're involved in, whether you're just listening or what have you. Your help, persecution and stuff is coming to the men of the Lord and the women that follow. Lord willing, this lesson be edified unto you. Like, I'll share a few scriptures in between and close it out. All right. It says, a New Yorker who was stopped and detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents says he was treated like a criminal for simply existing as a Hispanic person in the U.S., and that's because they hate you, right? They know that the time is short. They know that once their rulership is over with, we are gonna reign in righteousness under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and King David. Right? We're gonna have righteous rulership. We're gonna be powerful, and we wouldn't come out of power anymore. And the Edomites are gonna be in a low state, especially Esau Edom. He's gonna be in a low state. He wouldn't have an inkling of rulership. The only power he is gonna have is the power of serving under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and the Israelites. So he's gonna come down with great wrath because he knew it that he had a short time. It says, I said that they are looking for criminals, but in reality, they are the criminals. Elzan Lemus, a 23-year-old from Brentwood, told reporters during a Thursday press conference. Lemus, an electrician, was riding in the passenger seat of a car on his way to work when agents stopped the vehicle in Westbury, New York. The ICE agent reportedly said that Lemus looks like somebody they were looking for. Exactly. Right? So they were surveilling him. All right. I'm going to continue a little bit more. It says, he said, who are you looking for? Because it's definitely not me. Much of his interaction was captured on cell phone video, right? So they were tracking him. And best believe that they track the men of the Lord in like manner through surveillance, cell phones, so on and so forth. Probably drones even. All right. The first scripture I'm going to share real quick is in the book of Lamentations. Chapter 4 and verse 18. It says, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for the end is come. All right, so this place is getting ready to go down, man. You know what I'm saying? So judgment is going to come to you 2/3, but salvation is going to come to the Israelites. Let's go into that word hunt.
Strong's H6679. Sued.
Right, to hunt, to, to hunt eagerly or keenly. All right, to take provision. Then when you go in the KJV translation, the Strong's, it says to take chaste, right, provision. Strong's definition, another one is to lie alongside in wait, right? So they were lying in wait. You understand? You ever travel on like on the highways and stuff, and you're going on the road, you're speeding or whatever, you're driving fast, and a cop come behind you. You know what I mean? I've been to a lot of times you just see them hiding somewhere. That's because they're lying in wait, they're lying alongside. The highway probably be behind a sign, behind a cliff or something like that. So by the time you get close to them, if you're doing wrong, it's already too late. They already caught you in the act, right? Lie in wait by implication to catch an animal, right? And we are like prey unto them, right? To chase, to hunt, right? So yeah, man, we are like prey unto Esau, Edom. So this is what they do. They hunt our steps so we cannot go out in our streets. And that's the same thing they did. They lie in wait for this particular individual, this Limas individual. It says, continuing on, it says, after the car was stopped, Limas says he was surrounded by ICE and Homeland Security investigation vehicles. The agents then threatened him and demanded his ID. And this is a picture of him right now. It says, this is going to go one of two ways here. I need to see your ID. If you're not the guy I'm looking for, you're not the guy I'm looking for. But we need your ID. The ICE agent says in the video. Lima said he demanded the agent's name and badge number, but they refused to provide any identifying information, claiming they were not authorized to do so. I told them I am not authorized to give my ID, then Lima said. The ICE agents threatened him again. If we don't get your ID, we are going to need to figure out another way to ID you, and that may not work out well for you, the agent said. Right, so they could go into fingerprinting, which they could do mobile where they at, or they detain you and they take you to their facility where they can also do a retinal scan. But I remember, I think a day or two ago, I saw Elder Apostle Tahai did a video about one of the Northern Tribes women. She was talking about when ICE came onto the job, they scanned her face and all the information came up. You understand? So that is also one of the other means of identification that they're going to use. But what they ultimately want to do is with the MOTB, they scan that and everything come up when they insert it under your skin, when they makes it mandatory. So these are the times that we are coming into, man. So pay attention, just because this is happening to North tribes. Pay attention. They are still our people, and overall is gonna come to you believers. You know what I mean? So ready your mind for the days to come. It says, continuing on, it says Limas was then placed in handcuffs for refusing to provide identification to the ICE agents. He said he was hesitant to cooperate because he didn't commit any crimes, and he knew the federal agents were not local police. Yeah. So, sometimes they damn if you do, damn if you don't, but The scriptures say, agree with the adversary quickly. It may or may not work for you, but during the process, whether you're being detained or not, you're praying in your mind or whatever, and you're believing that the Most High create a way for you. And these things are going to happen to a lot of us, man. Some brothers are going to be detained. You understand? But hey, yeah, agree with them quickly, and that portion in work out. Still trust Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai during the process to see what he could do for you. Basically, you're trusting in him until there's no more. You know what I mean? You're done. You know what I mean? But don't trade that trust in for fear. Continue to trust him until the end. Endure until the end. Agree with thy adversary. Did not say. Yeah. I spelled it wrong. There can have it. Okay, it didn't do. I don't know why this app is like that, man. You'll put it in word for word and still. Let's see. Agree with adversary. Oh, it's dying. This app is weird, bro. You gotta like spell it out like word for word. See, I put die THY instead of THINE. Alright, let's see. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Right? So the guy, he asked for his ID, he didn't give it to them, and they detained him as a result, as I just mentioned in Matthew 5 verse 25. Right? Now sometimes they could do that and they could still take you away, but the idea is you still want to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai during the process, to help it to speak, right, to help you know what to do, right, during the situation. That is the point, right? We are to be blameless as possible in the sight of the Most High. Continuing on, it says, I didn't want to get my ID because as soon as I saw how they were dressed, I knew they weren't police officers. I didn't commit a crime and wasn't driving, he said. Alright, so they were, like I said in the beginning, in Lamentations 4 and 18, they hunt our steps, man. And you have to remember that Esau is a cunning hunter. Right? Even in the days where him and his brother Jacob mostly, dwell in tents. And Esau was a man of the field, so Esau could lie in wait for a very long time, just go paying you out. Right? You thinking, it's a good day, it's a sweet day, you with your woman, you're going to work, you're going to grab a slice of pizza, so on and so forth. And this man has plans for you. So this is Matthew chapter 25. It's like Genesis. Yeah, Genesis chapter 25. Man, all over the place thinking about different scriptures. And 25 and 27, Slakia. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, right? Dwelling in tents. When you read it in the NLT, it says, as the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman. But Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. You understand? And that's how Esau catch Jake a lot of the time, when he is at peace, whether he's with his woman, his children, alright, going to work and stuff like that. Pretty much not seeking trouble.
Strong's H 3045. You're there. You're there.
When you go into cunning, it says to know, right? To learn to how, to perceive, see, find out, and discern, to discriminate, distinguish, to know by experience, to recognize, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider, to know, be acquainted with, to know a person carnally, to know how, to be skillful in, to have knowledge, be wise, right? So cunning meaning is to know, right? You also go into diligent when you go further down in the Strong's definition. Perceive, privy, right? To know, and skillful. So Esau, he skillfully gains knowledge upon you, your information. He watches you, right? Whether it is out there in public or on these devices that we use, right? And that's how they came upon him. Because any regular person, you walk upon somebody, you don't know anything about him. You understand? But he lie in wait, and he watch for you, man. Continuing on, it says ICE agents allegedly left Lemus in cuffs for 20 to 25 minutes and confiscated his phone to prevent him from filming them. They eventually found his ID in his pockets. It was heartbreaking. It felt like my rights were just out the window, Lima said. See, and a lot of you Jakes, man, both Northern and Southern Kingdom, you're getting ready for a rude awakening. Right? The Most High is stripping the comfortability of a lot of our people, in Babylon, man. All right. The days of just passing on, going to work, just moving, business as usual lifestyle is quickly and vastly coming to an end. Lee says Lima's attorney is calling ICE alleged harassment a breach of his client's federal civil rights. This is not America. This is not how we as Americans should have to live. This is not how this young man, as a young Hispanic man, going to work at 7:30 in the morning, needs to be greeted at the beginning of his day, Attorney Fred Brewington said. Says the attorney said ICE can't just randomly on a hunch stop people, calling it contrary to Constitution. New York State Assemblyman Philip Rameau, a former police detective, also weighed in and demanded an investigation. He labeled the incident as racial profiling, right? Something the Southern Kingdoms endure since they've been here in the Americas. Says Limas and his attorney are calling for a full investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. They have not filed a lawsuit at this time. The incident left Limas fearful about future potential encounters with federal agents based on nothing more than his ethnicity, and he would be looking over his shoulder from now on. That reminds me, back when they had the Pearl Harbor incident, how the Japanese citizens here felt. They locked them up, right, and they were living in fear of persecution, even though they were U.S. citizens. So a lot of people is about to be stressed, man, confused, perplexed. All right. It says, it felt like I lost all rights when they pulled me over, he said. I felt like I had nothing anymore. Felt like they stripped my rights. I was honestly shocked. All right, and that brings us to the end of the article. Yeah, man, so This man, his kingdom is coming to an end, so he's gonna come down with great wrath because he know that he had a short time. And this is why, we need to be delivered and protected, man. Alright, and the only one that could do that for us is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So I'll end with Psalms chapter 17 and in verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord of all power, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So Esau is the sword of the Lord. He's a weapon of the Lord on the left hand side. You understand? And he's going to devour 2/3 of all people. So this is why, we need to strive and pray and ask the Most High for a repentant spirit, a circumspect spirit, and self-examination spirit, right? So we be protected from, from the devices that this man, he's going to open up on, man. We'll be seeing new things. But at the end of the day, we are not to fear Esau, because Esau gets his power from the Most High. Hey, even Satan gets his power from Satan. They can do nothing without the authorization of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So who you gonna beg? Who you gonna pray for? Who you gonna pray to? Right? Let that be Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, Tyler, the lesson that Esau is a cunning hunter, man. So Lord willing, you draw closer to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you repent, and you offend less. Until the next time, this is your brother Rai Bayamian. Shalom.